Hello peoples, let's do some lobster. They're going to be boiled. Of course we're going to have some wine with it. This is from, well, it says Barossa. I'm just guessing it's from the Barossa Valley, Australia. It's actually really, really nice. Really nice. Very, very nice. Let's cook lobster. Now, we didn't catch these, however, they're still available at the moment. And they're cranking. Tasmanian lobster. You won't find better lobster anywhere. We call them crayfish. This is the best in the whole wide world. They are sweet. This is going to taste absolutely gorgeous. Now, we're going to boil them in half a cup of sugar, tablespoon of salt. We've doubled up there because we got two cranking. We bring the water to a boil. We let that boil for 7 to 8 minutes. Take it out, chopping them in half, and we serve them cold. We like it cold with some vinegar or some Thousand Island sauce or a seafood sauce or something like that. This is going to taste delicious. These things are $120 each. Because of the Chinese market at the moment, we can get them much cheaper. They're half price at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to drown them first. So we'll pop them in here. We're going to pop that on because sometimes they kick. Let's bring the water to the boil. Crank the stove up. Hot plates, my bad. Let's just bring that right up to 9. Let that boil. I like to put the kettle on. Give it a little bit of a starter. Okay, while we're waiting for that to happen, let's drink some more wine. No, seriously. We're gonna do some some squid. We'll do some squid with this, and we'll crumb it. We'll do a salad. Let's get that going, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, everything's cranking away. We're just boiling the kettle, and the water is boiling. We're just going to put a little bit more water in there. We want that as high as we can to cover the shell. So we'll do one at a time. So one at a time. What we're going to do is we're going to put the sugar with salt in. So a cup of sugar and some salt. Tablespoon of salt, yes? This one here. You're going to want to dissolve that. Okay. Salad. We had some leftover salad from our pizza video, and we're just going to combine it. So we've got some leftover chicken from the pizza, some sun-dried tomatoes, so we're going to chuck those on the salad. Get rid of those. Some peppers, chuck some peppers in. Alright, mix that up a bit. This chicken, this was the barbecue chicken from the pizza video. Let's just put that in the salad. Use it up. Don't waste food. There's plenty of people just starving, okay? Me and my young, we look after 65 children in Indonesia. Now, the money that we spend on food is phenomenal. Like, it is outrageous. But we love food. We love to eat. And I mean, does that look good or does that look good? I mean, that's a nice salad, okay? That is gonna taste delicious. Right? Hopefully hopefully I'm not kitchen tonight because I don't want to do all these dishes. Honestly, there ain't gonna be much dishes. And we have a dishwasher. So, we got something sticking out here. So, let's put the lobster, commonly known in Australia as crayfish, let's chuck them in the pot. Okay, so they should be drowned by now. The trick is to drown them, so we can do that, so we can submerge them in water, and we can put them on ice as well. If you put them in the freezer, they'll also go to sleep. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to just drop them straight in. Now, they are definitely, they're out to it. They're definitely, they're dead or gone to sleep because the fact of the matter is they're in fresh water. We need another foam roller because we need to time this. Okay. So, Tasmanian lobster. This one's missing a couple of legs, and this one's a male. That one's a male. So when they're a female, they'll have some more things here to protect their eggs. This is about 800 grams. So we're going to do 8 minutes this time. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to just place it in here, in the boiling water. We've got our sugar in there. We're going to put our lid on, right? Bring it back to the boil really, really quickly. Now that's going to boil over. That's going to boil over very fast. We'll just take the lid off and turn the temperature down. We really want to keep it accurate with the timing. Hence why I was just going to do the timer to my wife. We need to keep going very precise because that way it's going to taste very nice. Why that's cranking? Let's do some chummy. Some squid. Yeah?
Yeah.
2 different languages. So it's approximately, it's not 10 mil, it's about 8 mil thickness for your squid rings. Not quite 10 mil. Alright. Okay. Keep an eye on the lobster. So it's not quite at boil. As in, sorry, should I describe this a different way? It's not boiling over with the lid on. So we don't want it to overflow, which it will in a minute. Everything will go everywhere. If we keep the lid like this, it's gonna boil over. Keep it on the side, we might be right. Okay, so, chummy, commonly known as squid, calamari, in the flour, in the egg, and there it goes, it's boiling over. So, we'll take that bit off now. So, in the flour, in the egg, in the breadcrumb. Simple, so simple. And voila, we have it. So, in the flour, in the egg, in the breadcrumb. Very simple. Flour, in the egg, and the breadcrumb. I have to clean my hands off because my hands are getting like caked in breadcrumb. And the breadcrumb. You use a lot of flour and a lot of egg when you're doing this sort of thing, but these are going to taste so nice. Very nice. It tastes so nice when you catch it too. You catch stuff, it tastes even nicer. In Tasmania, we have seafood from north, south, east, west. We have seafood right around us. We even have seafood inland. We can even catch like freshwater salmon, like up in the lakes. We're very fortunate, very fortunate. We've got seafood surrounding us. Most of our money comes from either seafood, building, or tourism. And tourism, not at the moment. So a lot of it's just seafood and building. We are gonna get this crayfish out in about 2 minutes, so to be continued. Okay, so we've got our timer going off at 8 minutes. If we can stop that, that would be great. Take them off the boil for a second. Some big tongs. Okay. So I'm going to sit this one down over in there like that. Get the next one ready. Bring it to the boil again. I'm going to pop him in and put the timer on. So, once again, another male crayfish and Tasmanian crayfish or lobster, as you'd like to call it, all around the world. You will not taste anything better than a Tasmanian lobster. This is beautiful. Around Australia, the lobsters taste different. So in Western Australia, they taste different than Tasmania. In Queensland, they taste different than Tasmania. In New Zealand, they taste the same as Tasmania. So New Zealand and Tasmania, best lobsters you'll ever taste in the whole wide world. They're sweet and they're delicious. We're going to cook them and we're going to show you. Let's put the lid on that one and go again. Now, we put the sugar in when we put the salt in. I would only cook two lobsters per pot. So after we cook those 2 lobsters, we'll probably change the pot again and then put another cup of sugar and another tablespoon of salt. And keep going. Let's do the chummy, the squid, the calamari, whatever you like to call it, we're going to cook it. We've already got our salad ready, waiting for the crayfish or lobsters, whatever you like to call it. This is going to cool now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put that on a plate in the fridge. So I'm going to stick that straight in the fridge. Straight in the fridge, let him cool. It tastes better cold than what it does hot. Crab tastes nice hot with certain dishes, with chili, with chubby chili, however you like to say it. Lobster, Tasmanian crayfish, absolutely beautiful cold, but I must admit I've had it in a burger. Tasmanian lobster in a burger, absolutely beautiful, and that is hot. So you can do it all sorts of dishes. My aunties, they do a dip and biscuit with the lobster, absolutely to die for. You can do everything with it. You can do salads with it. You can do anything with it. Try what you want to try. Eat it how you want to eat it. This is boiling now, so we're going to take that off. Let that keep boiling. Let's do the chummy, the squid, the calamari.
A few moments later.
So alarm just went off. Gonna take this sucker out now. You can drain for a second, and then we're gonna put him in the fridge. Okay, so okay, we're almost ready to do our chummy. So, we are almost ready to do our squid rings. And we're going to deep fry those, and they're going to complement our dish of crayfish with our salad. So, let's get crack-a-lackin'. So with the squid, all we did was we chopped it up, we put it into some flour and then some egg and then some breadcrumbs. And it is going to taste delicious, but it is very, very quick. You have to be extremely quick doing this. If you take too long, it's going to taste, how can I describe it? Chewy. You're not going to eat it soft. What we want is we want it very soft and melt in your mouth. So maybe 45 seconds, a minute? Yeah. You reckon? 45 seconds, a minute that was, Dom? Not long at all. Thank you. Ding, 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 ding. Hang on, Cover, we're cooking dinner. Okay. Now, I don't know if there's room in this fridge for this one. Maybe we could make room. Dun 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 dun. So the reason why we put it in the fridge, we just don't want it to keep cooking. So whack it in there, it will stop cooking, and then we're gonna eat it cold. We're gonna eat it with like a vinegar. So we can dip it in vinegar, and we can dip it in like a Thousand Island sauce or a tartare sauce or any seafood sauce. If you want to make a seafood sauce, go ahead and make a seafood sauce. It's going to taste nice. Crayfish at its best is cold, and honestly, I guess that's just a preference, isn't it, Dylan, when it comes down to it? Because we watched some video the other day when they was eating raw crayfish, didn't we? So, each their own. So, we've got the squid rings here. Calamari. Absolutely delicious. Now, I'm not going to pick one of these up and eat it because it is going to just burn my mouth. Let's like wait 1 minute and then I'll eat one and we can try one. Would you like to dish up, Dylan? So we'll start dishing up. We'll do the calamari and the salad, and to be continued. Yeah. So we got our crays, lobsters, and what we can do is we're going to cut them straight down the center and cut them in half, wash them out, and stick them on the plate. How we do that is quite simple. Alright, so stick it in the guts, halfway down. straight down. Try and line your tail up because you don't want sort of a small part on this one. Try and line it up halfway. And push on the knife. Turn him around. Good. And we wash him out. Now, some people like this as sauce. Sorry, I'll turn the tap off because it's very loud and this fan is very loud. Okay, so some people like all this because of the sauce. But honestly, personally, I just like to wash it out, and I like the vinegar. That's the Papatrail. I like the vinegar. I like the seafood sauce. Very nice. Now, as you can see, right, we are keeping all the legs. We're minus 2 legs here. But these legs have got so much meat in them, right? So normally, right, a lot of the lobsters that you're seeing and a lot of the lobsters that you catch in your own country, you won't eat these. This antenna, that's got a lot of meat in it. Don't throw it away, right? So, in a lot of countries, we rip the tails off and pull them out and eat just the tails, yes? At $120 each, we eat the legs, we eat the antennas, we eat everything. As you can see up in here, there is so much meat. We will show you how much meat there is in them. Alright, so we're just going to wash that out, sit it to drain. This little antenna here, let me show you guys. Alright, let me show you. This is the worst part to break. See all the spikes on here? This is the worst part to break. Right. Look at this. Look at the meat in here. Right, that's all meat. All meat. Yeah? All meat. And it's absolutely delicious. And there is more meat inside this one too. So we break the antenna off. And then the best thing to do with this is a nutcracker or a knife. So you can use a knife. So not like this, right? You crack the shell like that on the back. And look, let me show you. Look at this, so delicious. And if you've ever eaten a Tasmanian crayfish, you'll know it is to die for. You do not waste this. This is expensive, let alone absolutely beautiful and delicious and very nice to eat. It is so nice. See this little bit here? You don't throw that. You don't throw this leg. You don't throw this part of the leg. Let me show you this part of the leg. See this little part in here? It's so sweet. Look at this, right? Absolutely delicious. The legs are the best part of the crayfish. This one here, you can just go with it. And if you cut yourself, you cut yourself. But honestly, the best thing to use is a nutcracker. See this in here? There was another bite. I wouldn't say a mouthful, but it was another bite. No, that is yummy. Let's do the second one. And I'll show you how to pull them apart, how much meat there is up in here. So once we rip the tail off, there's so much meat in the shoulder here. In all these knuckles, there's all this meat. This is probably a better example because he's got all his legs. This one doesn't have all his legs on this side, but it's the same crayfish, right? Or lobster. All up in these knuckles, there's so much meat, so much meat. So when you rip the tails off and you just eat the tails, it's such a waste. There is so much there. You're eating half of the lobster, half of the crayfish. And try it with vinegar. brown with vinegar. It is delicious. We cut the shell before to make sure you got a nice sharp knife. So one side, the other side. It's simple, one side, the other side. Now, how do you know when your knife is sharp? So what I'm doing is I'm turning slightly. I'm turning this way, turning this way. Don't ever let anyone else sharpen your knife, right? Your knife is your knife, right? If you let someone else sharpen your knife, it's gonna put a different edge on it. So I'm gonna make this very, very quick, right? So tilt slowly, left and right, okay? This one here goes as sharp as you can, straight down. If you keep going like this, you're gonna end up with a very dull blade, okay? You want it as sharp as you can, so straight down and tilt. I once worked on a boat, and my skipper, he made me work with a blunt knife for 1 week because I lied. I lied to get on a shark boat. I told him I'd been on a shark boat before and I'd never worked on a shark boat. He made me work with a blunt knife for 1 week. It was the worst punishment. You need a sharp knife when you're working with sharks. Okay, to tell how your knife is sharp, your nail, your fingernail, right? If it slices your fingernail, right, or shaves your fingernail, should I say, then it's sharp. So it's still sharp, still sharp, still sharp, still sharp, still sharp, right? Now, at one point there, if it doesn't do it on your nail, then that means that part of the knife is blunt. So you keep going with your steel. So you use a diamond blade steel, right? Use a diamond blade, and then you use a porcelain. So a porcelain one will look like this. So this is a porcelain one. So if I crack that with the back of my knife, that will break. That is porcelain, right? So we go from diamond blade to porcelain. Now porcelain, you're gonna get your thumb. So probably best off, if you don't try this before, then use the glove, right? Always best. I use the glove when I'm on the boat. Right, so we can add to it a little bit. So diamond blade, porcelain, yes? Easy, simple. Let's get back to the lobster. So lobster, we're not gonna cut it through this way. Upside down, straight through the guts. Honestly, it doesn't matter if you go this way or you go this way. I just prefer to aim for the tail because I wanna get half. I mean, I wanna serve my guests, I wanna serve them half, everything half. A whole lobster per plate, there's no presentation in it, none at all. Alright, can you hear that crack? Crack-a-lacka. Right, so down again, straight down through the center, wash him out. You can serve it like that, don't get me wrong. In a restaurant, you put it on the plate like that, don't get me wrong. This gut, I just don't like it. Some people think it's a dipping sauce. They like it as a dipping sauce. Personally, I just prefer to wash it out and use the other sauce. You can make a sauce out of an egg white and make a nice mayonnaise, that sort of thing. The purpose why we're sticking them upside down here is to drain. We're draining the water out. See if I lift it? See all the water? We're trying to drain all the water out of them. Now, as I said before, you will not find better than a Tasmanian lobster. At all, in the whole wide world. Now, you've got some Spanish, Spanish lobsters. They're nice on their own, and people fly them in from all different countries. Trust me when I say this, we export these to Japan, we export these to China. They are very sought after. That's what creates the market for these. This fish here alone is 800 kilos, 800 grams. This fish here is 800 grams. This fish here is 800 grams. Therefore, that fish there would fetch about $150. As I was saying before, You can do a seafood sauce. This is Thousand Islands. Or you can just do some plain old vinegar. So, brown vinegar. Now, honestly, the brown vinegar is probably going to taste better than the sauce. So, we let the crayfish cool down in the fridge. Now, come around here, darling. So here we have it. Sorry about that. So here we have 2 dipping sauces and a crayfish in our dinner. The lime, of course, we're gonna tip it over the chummy, and the chummy also squid, calamari. I keep saying chummy. It's just gonna melt in your mouth. It's not chewy, it's just soft and very nice. The crayfish, right? If you have a look at this, let me show you something, right? If we're just gonna rip the tail off, right, that's what we end up with. That's the meat we end up with in the tail. And if you get that part, you get that part. Sometimes you won't even get that part. Now, that's the vinegar. It is to die for, okay? This is expensive for a reason. Now, the Thousand Island sauce, it's nice, but honestly, the vinegar, right? The vinegar there, it actually heightens the flavor of the crayfish, or lobster, as you like to call it. Now, getting back to what I was saying, we've already done the horn, right? We did a leg. Let me show you another leg. Like, see this claw here? Look how much meat's inside it. Alright? Look how much meat's in there. Alright? Look at all that. That is the best part, right? The tail, it has a really, really nice flavour. But these legs, they are so sweet. If you like lobster, if you like crayfish, honestly, this tail, that's not the best part. This is the best part. This part, this is the best part of the crayfish. Lobster. Okay, so we can keep doing this all day long with the legs. Alright? You will get it out. You will get that, right? So you just gotta crack a lack at it, right? No. Let's get rid of the legs. Alright, let's get rid of all the legs. Alright, forget the legs for a second. This is the shoulder, this is the rib cage, so to speak. See this in here? Come in here, doll. Right, so in here, there is so much meat, right? Now, you might think that's a tiny little bit of meat, but look. Look what I do when I pull this away. Okay? Look at this. See that? It's just gonna fall out. It's just fiddly. That's all it is. Look at all this meat. That's a mouthful there. Right? Again, nice with a bit of vinegar. Honestly, guys, that is to die for. That's why it's so expensive. That's why we export it. There's money to be made there. But we live here, we can catch it so many months of the year, permitted. So we're allowed 1 pot each and 2 crayfish each. That's per day though, come on. you got to eat them quite fast. Yeah, just eat 2 per day, and you're laughing, aren't you? Right. So there we have it. We have our lobster, crayfish, whatever you like to call it. We have our chumi, udang, squid, bit of salad. Everything's perfect. This is a restaurant meal, 1 in a million. Main thing you gotta remember about these things, don't forget the legs.